This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Bergamy.
Well, as you can see, Kenny and I all smiles because you, my friends, chose to spend the next 30 minutes with us. And for that, we say thank you.
Yes, indeed. And to show our appreciation, once again, we put together what we think is a really fun show. Coming up, for most of his life, he devoted himself to helping farm families stay in business and live the American dream. How former Georgia Farm Bureau President Gerald Long is being recognized for all his dedication and service. Football season is upon us, and that means plenty of tailgating with Georgia grown products. Ray and Marcia have some ideas for your next tailgate, and they'll be sharing them on one of college football's biggest stages. And then later, if your roses look like this, there's a very good chance you have an uninvited guest feasting on them. Extension agent and gardening expert Paul Pugliese will show you how to rid yourself of sawflies. These stories and so much more start right now on the Farm Monitor.
Every year, Georgia Farm Bureau presents its Commodity Award to an individual who's had a positive impact on the ag industry. This year's recipient, a person who over the span of a lifetime supported and advocated for Georgia ag any chance he could. A person who left a lasting impression on the lives of employees, volunteers, and most importantly, his fellow farmers. This year's recipient, former Georgia Farm Bureau President Gerald Long.
I think it's an honor, a great honor to receive that award. You know, there's been some very outstanding people in the past that's received that award, so I feel honored to accept that award. I really do. Because, you know, the commodity groups, being 20 different commodity groups, that and the county unit, that is the driving force of Georgia Farm Bureau and the reason we're here. Starting off in school, I was a 4-H member. I was also a member of FFA, but I was also president of the Decatur County 4-H my senior year in high school. So it goes all the way back from there to attending ABAC, being involved in ABAC and the activities there, and then coming back home after serving active duty and coming back. And we moved back here in 1972. And then I started full-time farming in 1973. I became a member of Georgia Farm Bureau, and really, I guess it was December of '69. So I've been a member of Farm Bureau for some 51 years. It's been proven time and time again. If you get involved in your passion, in your profession, you can make a difference. You know, I've heard several times, several people say, well, you know, I'm just one person, I can't make a difference. Well, you can make a difference. It may be slow. It may take many years to get a law passed or something that you started, you know, really you initiated on the county level in Farm Bureau. And I'm a firm believer in whatever profession you're in, that you need to be involved in having your voice being heard. Not only, you know, is agriculture number one in Georgia, the number one industry, but it's something that we've got to have. I mean, that's our source of food. You know, food, water, and air we breathe is life itself. So I think we always have challenges. But as I've said many times, y'all have heard me say in Farm Bureau, for every challenge, there's an opportunity. Now we have to develop those opportunities, and we have to take extreme risk sometimes for those opportunities. But agriculture will always be here. Sure, we have an insurance company, and I think we're all proud of that. But the base of the organization is the Federation, representing agriculture. And I'm glad that I've had an opportunity to be part of that. And what little bit I've contributed to this organization, it is certainly an honor for me.
Congratulations to Mr. Long. That award is well deserved. You know, sometimes all it takes is some hard work and a leap of faith to fulfill a dream. That was certainly the case for Whimsy Flower Farm in Union County, where a small idea has now turned into a business that continues to bloom. Damon Jones takes a look at this unique operation and why visitors from all over continue to pour in.
With more than 35 different varieties to choose from sunflowers to zinnias, Whimsy Flower Farm is likely to satisfy any floral needs. And despite its current size, it's a business that started from humble beginnings.
In 2014, I was sitting on the sofa trying to stay warm one winter in front of the wood stove and think flower thoughts. And I was researching how to grow old-fashioned sweet peas. And I came across a blog about flower farming, and I thought, oh my goodness, I could do that.
And it turns out she was right, as her hobby quickly turned into something much more when customers just couldn't get enough of her product.
I got a bunch of books from the library, and we threw some seeds in the ground that first year and grew just a small patch of flowers and took it to our wonderful farmers market here in Union County. And our community response was so wonderful that it just made us think, oh, this is really something we should push. So the next year we thought we planted so many flowers, and we tripled what we were growing, and still we sold out by 9 o'clock every morning. And the next year we tripled again, and we still sold out by 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. So we knew that the local interest was growing.
With that rapid expansion, the Logan family made a big decision to sell their house in 2017 and buy this farm. Now it's evolved into a unique business that lets you have a say in what goes into the flower arrangements.
Usually we just allow people to stroll for free, and we do have some flowers up front at the barn that we pick and keep up there. We might make a few bouquets ahead of time, or might let people pick the flowers they'd like in their bouquets. Some people call ahead or text ahead and say, you know, I'm coming at such and such o'clock, would you have something ready? And that works too. We try to be as versatile as possible. We do have lots of colors. When we've got this much variety and we have this many flowers, it's just easy to allow people to say, yes, I'd like some of that, or no, I wouldn't like any of that, or I'm not a big sunflower fan, or yes, please, packet full of sunflowers. So we try to be flexible.
While they are beautiful to look at, all this doesn't come without plenty of hard work and long hours. But despite all the sweat equity, it's a way of life the Logan family wouldn't have any other way.
We handle these seeds starting in January, these flowers. We grow them up from plugs, we plant them, we weed them. We have a lot of time and energy put into it. I think if I really tried to sell bouquets with the actual cost of the labor that we put into it, no one could afford them. So, but that's okay. We do this because we love it. I think growing up outdoors is just in my blood, and I enjoy my time outside. I can't see myself in any other occupation.
Much like fruits, there are different seasons for different flowers. That means every time you visit, there will be something new to see.
Everybody gets excited in spring when there's strawberries, and then June and July there's peaches and blueberries, but you eat them in season as fast as you can locally at the farmer's market, hopefully, because you know it's only going to last for a short time. And flowers are the same way. When the anemones bloom in March, you're only going to enjoy them for a little while. Then April, it's about tulips, and if you want tulips that year, you better go get them quick.
Reporting from Union County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
All right, Damon, thanks so much. After the break, what better place for a tailgate than between the hedges of Sanford Stadium? Well, actually, it's just beyond the hedges. Nonetheless, Ray and Marcia share some great ideas for your next spread. Stay tuned.
Here at GLC Farms, we use a lot of different sources for our labor. We use the H-2A workers, we use a lot of domestic workers. So we have a lot of variety there, and we know people are coming and going, and you know, we're working in the packing house, which is probably where our greatest risk is because we're so close together. Out here in the field, it's not as quite the same risk because it is open, but yet when these workers leave this field and go to another field or go home for the day and they get on the bus and sit beside somebody else, you just never know what will happen. And so again, making sure that we educate them, but also that our growers understand that no matter how safe you can be, there's still a risk out there, and your operation is going to be dependent on whether you have those people come back day after day. So in order for us to remain healthy and remain safe, we need to make sure that everybody gets the vaccine and does the the things that they need to do. We already practice a lot of food safety measures where we're wearing our gloves, we're wearing our hair nets, we're wearing our aprons. So this is just another thing for us to make sure that our food is safe and to make sure that the people are safe. And you know, for us to continue to make money, for them to continue to make money, and for you, the consumer, to continue to eat, we need to make sure that everybody remains healthy and that we need them to all keep living and working together.
Yes, you can smell the excitement in the air. Meals from the Field once again on the road, this time from beautiful, historic Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium on the campus of the University of Georgia, the heart of SEC country, Athens, Georgia. Welcome everybody to another special edition of Meals from the Field, our annual tailgate edition as we look ahead to the upcoming football season, because of course, Marcia, as we know, football rules here in Georgia.
It rules.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Ray.
And I do have to give a shout out to Marcia real quick. As I mentioned, Dooley Field at Sanford Stadium, home of the Georgia Bulldogs. This lady right here, an Auburn grad.
You did not have to say that.
But I'm saying, you are a team player. We love you for that, and we always enjoy these tailgate editions. Everybody's gearing up for football this year. Bulldogs, of course, open the season September 4th on the road at North Carolina in Charlotte against Clemson. Then their home opener here September 11th against University of Alabama, Birmingham, UAB for short. So we are really excited. And we've got quick, easy tailgate recipes that we're doing
Everything
today. So
you can make ahead and put in a cooler and drive to your favorite football stadium, okay?
So take it away.
All right, the first thing is a chicken bacon ranch pasta salad.
Okay.
So I've got in this bowl a pound of cooked pasta, any shape, color you want, and 2.5 cups of cooked chicken, and you can use a rotisserie chicken. I'm going to add to that a cup of cooked crumbled bacon, a 1/4 cup of chopped red or Vidalia onion, whatever you want. A cup of cheese, shredded cheese, and you can use any kind of cheese you want. So, and if you don't want cheese, you don't have to do that either.
Okay.
And a 1/4 cup of tomatoes. You don't have to do that. You can leave the tomatoes out, because I have friends that don't eat tomatoes.
Very versatile.
Very versatile. And the dressing is a cup of sour cream, 1/2 cup of sour cream, 1/2 cup of good mayonnaise, and a pack of ranch-style salad dressing. And you mix all that up, and you're going to stir it in to the pasta salad and refrigerate it. And I'm telling you, I had some friends over Sunday to try these recipes. They were a hit.
Okay.
All right, that's going to go on the salad.
Yum.
Yum. And it really picks up the ranch and the bacon and all that good stuff.
You don't do store-bought anything, do you?
I do.
Do you really?
I do a little bit, but this is just so much thicker. And this is a real creamy, a little bit of a thick recipe, not your usual salad.
Okay.
Okay. All right, the next thing is a sun-dried tomato dip. And this is an 8-ounce package of sour cream. And if this isn't softened, it's not going to soften, right, out here today.
Why don't you just hang it out here for a
hang
little
it out
bit? Because it's about 95 degrees out here, folks. It feels that way. If you hear a little noise, too, we've got a little industrial fan type thing going on top of this building over here. So we do apologize for the noise, but fortunately we are underneath a tent, and that's taking down some of the heat. A little bit.
All right, this is an 8-ounce pack of softened cream cheese, 8 ounces or a cup of sour cream, which we have to work kind of quick. We don't want anybody to get sick out here today, right? 8 ounces of mayonnaise, sun-dried tomatoes. Let me find something here. I'll use this. This is a 1/4 cup of sun-dried tomatoes, and you can buy those in oil, either with the vegetables, the canned vegetables in the grocery store, or the gourmet section.
Okay.
But I will tell you, if you get them with the vegetable, they're much cheaper.
Okay.
Black pepper, kosher salt, like 8 dashes of hot sauce.
Of your choice?
Of my choice. And you're just going to stir that up. Oh, green onions, I forgot that. Chopped green onions. Stir that up, refrigerate it, obviously. And you're going to serve this with vegetables, crackers, whatever you want to serve it with. But it's really good. It's got to be chilled like 4 hours before you serve it.
Okay.
Okay, and last but not least, this is one of my favorite things to take to a tailgate. It's called cheese squares, and we've done this recipe before. I just changed it a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, this is 2.5 tablespoons of jalapeno pepper, which I wouldn't leave that out. You could cut down on the amount. We've got 2 tablespoons of cooked bacon, which is new, and this really adds a lot to it. 2 tablespoons of minced, pimentos. Then this is 4 cups of shredded cheese. I'm going to put that over the top.
Oh, what's that? Do you feel that?
Oh my gosh, bring
That's
it
a breeze.
on.
That is a breeze.
Bring it on. Yeah, I told Damon, the camera guy, I don't know why I even put makeup on this morning. It's already melted off. Like, who cares? They're looking at the food anyway.
It's
right?
tailgate, man. That's what happens. It's hot, you know. You're gearing up for the football game.
This is real life, reality TV. That's 4 cups of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. And this is 6 eggs. You're going to just pour this over the top of that. And you're going to bake this. This all that's in there. And if you don't want to put the bacon in there or the pimentos, you can just use the jalapeno peppers. And these are so good cold. I think I've taken this to every football, baseball game I've ever been to. Bake this at 350 for 30 minutes and cut it into squares.
Cut it into squares.
And you have a tailgate.
There's your tailgate food. Simple, easy. You can prepare ahead of time. Quick setup. Make sure you have your Georgia Bulldog tablecloth.
That's
when you set things up. That just kind of adds to it. Or, okay, you can even go with Auburn Tigers. But there you see there you see the final results of everything, and just some delicious recipes. And of course, before you head out to the game, whether it be high school, college, pros, whatever, you can find all these recipes by logging on to farm-monitor.com. Everything there for you in detail. Before we send you on your way, I do have to thank everybody at the University of Georgia for making this happen. We've been wanting to do this for a few years now. We're out here again at Dooley Field in historic Sanford Stadium. Thank you so much to everybody at UGA. This is great. We are looking forward to a great season with the Bulldogs. So again, thank you so much. Marcia, thank you so much to you. We will see you next month, and dare I say, go Dogs!
Ray, Marcia, great job. Well, they're harmless to humans, but let me tell you, they can do some major damage to your rose bushes. Up next, Paul Pugliese on how to rid your landscaping of sawflies.
Hi, I'm Paul Pugliese with the University of Georgia Cooperative Extension. Every spring we get calls from homeowners with questions about why there are holes in their roses. Roses get holes for all kinds of reasons. That could be caterpillars or beetles of some sort. But in this particular case, it's an insect that a lot of people are not very familiar with. In this case, it's a tiny little slug-like insect that you'll find on the back sides of the leaves sometimes. And that tiny little slug is actually called a sawfly. Which kind of looks like a little bitty caterpillar. It's a tiny little green slug. It has more legs than a caterpillar, but they're very, very tiny. Those guys can chew all kinds of holes in the leaves, and when they do, sometimes you can see what looks like light coming through the holes in the leaves, what we call that a window pane effect. or they'll chew straight through and make big holes and small holes scattered throughout the leaves. So sawflies are actually the larval stage of a wasp. And it's a wasp that actually doesn't sting. It's a predatory wasp that feeds on other insects. So in a sense, it's actually beneficial, but it can cause a lot of damage on roses in the springtime. Usually we see this damage start to show up in Georgia around early April, and it'll continue into May, sometimes into June. And those sawflies only last for maybe a month and a half at most. Sometimes we'll get a second generation that'll come out later in the summertime. But more often than not, the worst is the first outbreak in the early spring. So what do you do about them? Well, if it's something that you're worried about on your roses, realize that it's just chewing the leaves, and so most roses can actually leaf back out again and produce new buds, and they'll be fine. But it does look really bad, and so if it's something that you want to deal with, one option is to just spray down the rose with a water, and if you hose it down, those slugs will fall off sometimes, and they're very clumsy. And they're not able to actually climb back up on the rose and cause any additional damage. If you want to do another type of a treatment, you can use a horticultural oil or an insecticidal soap from your local garden center. That's a really good option for smothering those insects. You've got to spray really good on both sides of the leaves, because a lot of times they're hiding out on the underside. And so you got to get good coverage if you're going to use an oil or a soap like that. And again, make sure you buy a plant soap that's available at the local garden center that's safe and won't burn the leaves of your plants. One other option that's really one of the best options for preventing these, because by the time you see the damage, it's already done. There's not a whole lot you can do about it, is to apply a systemic insecticide. And there's some really good systemic options you can buy at most garden centers. One of the more popular ones on the market now is called imidacloprid, and you can buy that at just about any garden center or local feed and seed store. And with that type of a product, you actually apply it as a root drench application. So what you would do in that case is you would get you a watering can, and you only need about a gallon of water to treat a small shrub like this. And whatever systemic product that you choose, there's several different brands on the market that have the exact same chemical in it. Read the label on that product, and it'll tell you how much to mix up in that watering can. And then once you've mixed it up, make sure you're wearing gloves in the process of pouring that, because you're dealing with the concentrate. So you should always protect yourself from pesticides. So very simply, put on your gloves, mix that up according to the label, and then when you're ready to water that in, you literally just water it around that plant, just like this. And about a gallon is necessary to water it in, again, according to the label. And that will actually work its way into the root system of that plant. And after about a few weeks, it'll be in the leaves, and it'll protect those leaves for the entire season on that plant. And it's something that you might need to do once a year. And so it's better to treat again early March, before the sawflies actually come out and start causing the damage. And that's an easy way to treat for this problem, if that's the way you want to approach this. One thing we do encourage you to do is to keep a good layer of mulch around your plants, so that you don't have bees and things that like to nest in the ground that might come in contact with that insecticide. Also, we don't recommend using dust type insecticides because those will actually get into the flower sometimes, and those bees and pollinators might pick up the dust on them, just like pollen. And so we want to protect our bees and our pollinators and try to avoid spraying flowers directly with any pesticide. That's where a root drench application can be a lot safer. And again, one application is all you would need to get that plant through the entire season. So if you have any additional questions about roses or any flowers or shrubs or even lawn questions, give your county extension office a call at 1-800-ASK-UGA1, or go to our website at ugaextension.com, and continue to follow us on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
All right, thank you, Paul, and thank you for making the show possible.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on the Farm Monitor. Have a great week.